Yes, guys, walk and talk with me. Episode 5. We keep it moving and we keep improving. Hope you've had all a good. I hope you've all had a good weekend. Enjoyed it. I've had a shit one. Villa lost 2-0 to Wolves. Absolutely pissed. But it's a new week and we keep going on to the next game. But yeah, walk with me. Walk and talk with me, episode 5. This one's going to be called You're Fat and You Don't Know Why. There's many people around the world in the UK in their late 30s, getting into their 40s, and they're piling a lot of weight over their life and don't understand how or what's caused it. So I'm going to give you the first example why weight can creep on you without you knowing. So the first one, guys, is you're waking up with no purpose. I'm going to give you a little story so you understand. So I think it's 2006, 2007. I was about 22, 23. I remember waking up in the morning very early and getting a phone call from one of my friends and one of my cousins and said, yeah, I'll be coming to get you. Just randomly about 10:30, 11, come to get you. One way to pick up a car. Having some problems with a car. Can't get it out of the garage. Me, no plans in the world, come and get me, why not? We've gone to the garage. The mechanic allegedly has overpriced for the work that he's done. We've got there, we've got into our argument with the mechanic. One of my friends tried to take the car keys. One of the mechanic tried to take the car without paying. I was just in the middle thinking what's going on. And then by the time we look around, a van comes out the blue. I think the geezer rang police before we even come because he knew it was going to be a heated one. Police have came, arrested us, and we ended up in a station for 24 hours. That's how my day worked out. And you're probably thinking, what's that got to do with anything I'm talking about? My point is, I woke up in the morning with no purpose. I had no goals. I had no direction. I didn't know what I was doing. There's plenty of you people out there, men and female, that will wake up with no plan of action, with how you eat. If you're going to train, or you're going to work, or you're on a course, what are you doing? You could get a phone call out the blue, and a friend could ring you, a bit upset, had a rough weekend, oh, I'm coming to get you, we're going for breakfast. I don't know where the breakfast is, but you're going out to eat. You end up at your friend's house later, you order a takeaway. This is how weight can creep up on you when you have no purpose. If you wake up with no goal or no purpose of what you're going to be doing, you will constantly just go into different places, here, there and everywhere, and you won't be tracking how you're living and what you're eating. So over your life, if you live a life without cooking, without no organisation, it's inevitable you are going to put on weight over your years. It's just inevitable. You can't wake up without even knowing what you're eating. I say this to most of you guys. When you wake up, have a plan what you're going to have for breakfast, your lunch and your dinner. Don't just wing it and guesstimate what you're going to be doing. I know every morning when I get up what I'm going to be having, what I'm going to be doing, what I'm training, what my day is going to be. So when you live with no purpose, weight can creep up on you and you can get into scenarios you don't want to be in. So I kind of talked the long way around it, so I'm making you understand. Like I ended up in a police station, locked up in there for 24 hours because I didn't have no direction or no goals. If that was me now, nobody could phone me out the blue just to go and collect a car without planning or not knowing the scenario of what's going on. I wouldn't just get up and just go somewhere. Nobody can phone me and say, Dan, do you want a breakfast this morning? Let's go to a cafe. Like I'm not saying I don't go to certain places and eat out, but if I do, it's aligning with what I'm doing. It has to align with my goals and my plan of action. That's how you gotta do it, guys. So that's how you can put on weight, having no purpose. The next one, guys, it sounds very simple, but it's for the majority of people, you haven't learned how to cook. If you're put on random weight constantly over your life, no matter how much you train, no matter how much you do regarding your thinking, you're eating healthy, eating out, I always say this to friends and previous clients back in my day. I don't care how healthy the restaurant is. If you're going out to eat out of your household, that is classed as a cheap meal. I don't care if you're just eating a salad. You don't know what dressings they put on the salad. You don't know where the salad's been. You don't know what salt they put on the meat, what seasonings. You don't know what oil they've used. You don't know what's going on in the kitchen. Just because it says it's a healthy option on the menu, which I'm not saying not to go for the healthy option, it doesn't mean it's completely healthy and fits your goals. You know what I mean? So if you can't cook, I would say to everyone now that's listening to this video, if you're 20 years old, if you're 30, if you're 40, if you're in your late 50s, whatever, start learning how to cook the basics. Everybody should be able to boil an egg, fry an egg, scramble an egg. It's not hard. I'm not telling you to be Gordon Ramsay. I'm just saying cook the basics. Cook a roast chicken for the day. Have it with some carb-light wraps. Have it with some rice. Have it with some broccoli and cauliflower rice. Have it with some sauerkraut. Have it with sweet potato. It's not hard to season a roast chicken. It's not hard to do a steak. These are the simple things. Single ingredient foods are very easy to cook. You don't need no cookbook. You don't need a bag of ingredients. It's just one source of food. It's not complicated, people. So if you find that the weight's creeping up on you, it's because you're not cooking at home and you're always eating out. No matter if it's a healthy option or not, you're constantly eating out. It doesn't matter where you go. It's classed as a cheat meal if you're not eating in your own household. It's as simple as that, people. Even if you went to a friend's house, they might cook with a different oil to you. They might use a different salt to you. They could be using white salt, table salt to cook and whatever. They could be using a vegetable oil and not olive oil. There's loads of different dynamics to weight gain and putting on weight, people. So everybody that's listening, please understand and start cooking the basics. I'm not saying to be Gordon Ramsay. Learn to do a roast chicken. Learn to boil eggs. Learn to scramble eggs. Learn to fry eggs. It's not hard to put some sourdough bread in a toaster with a couple of boiled eggs on top. It's not hard. Learn to wash and season a roast chicken. Learn to do a steak. Learn to cook down some lamb. As you get more confident, start cooking more things. It's as simple as that, people. So that's another reason how weight can creep on over the years if you're not cooking your own meals. The next one will be you have no knowledge of nutrition whatsoever. There's no sort of knowledge. So what I'm saying is, I recommend everybody that's watching this video to at least listen and to watch 1,000 hours of things regarding nutrition, fat loss, and how the body works. I think 1,000 hours works out to about 40 to 50 days. 50 days of your life of listening and watching stuff about nutrition, how the anatomy, how the body works, how it functions, so you understand what you're putting in your body. I think there's a lot of people that are watching this wouldn't know what protein is. They won't know what a refined carbohydrate is. They won't know what fiber is. So no matter how much I talk to you, you still need to go out there and get your own knowledge and take it all in. Everybody should be studied up on nutrition if you want to control how your body looks in your life, especially in your older years. If you're in your late 30s and 40s, it's not too late to listen to some videos or an audio book about nutrition and start getting on point. You can have all the coaches, all the PTs in the world, they cannot hold your hand forever, people. So 1,000 hours of watch time or listening time to get your knowledge up on nutrition, the anatomy and how the body works, people. The next one is, this one could be a controversial one, and I spoke about this before. This can work both ways. You've left home and all your habits have gone out the window. So for me, I'll go back to me again first. I left home when I was about 20, but from say junior school all up to secondary school, when I look back at my life, I had a regiment routine. I had a breakfast, I had a lunch, and I had a dinner at home. My mum wasn't really a fast food person. I'm an 80s baby, so I grew up in the 90s. So in my household, obviously I'm a black guy, Jamaican, Caribbean, all that food's in my house, but the foods that I ate in my house were tuna and rice and sweet corn. I had chicken and rice, chicken and potatoes. I had curry mutton and rice. I had roast dinners. I had hard food which is boiled banana, dumplings, yam, sweet potato. I had all those sort of foods, Saturday soup. So when I look back at my life when I was younger, I ate a lot of single ingredient foods from my household. There was rarely any sort of sweets in my house. I'm not saying I never had biscuits or certain chocolates in my house to a degree, but the majority of my lifestyle, I didn't grow up on fried food. I didn't grow up on having a fry up breakfast. But when I left home in my 20s, the habits and the things that I learned to cook at very young as well. The habits that I learned, I threw them out the window for a bit of my life when I left home. I stopped playing football. I wasn't training in the gym yet, so I lost all my activeness. I lost my food regime, and I started sitting around in pubs, doing rascal stuff with my friends, and I was ordering loads of Chinese. I was ordering takeaways, pizzas, everything you can think of, you can name, I was eating. Frey Bentos pies, drinking nutriments, Lucozades, J2Os, patties all day. So I went from a single ingredient lifestyle all the way to the complete opposite to junk food, refined carbohydrates, sugars, and I put on within about 3 or 4 years easily about 6 stone. I think I left home when I was 19, when I was probably about 14, 15 stone, and I got all up to 18, 19, 20 stone. This was before the gym and any sort of muscle gain, so you could imagine what I looked like. You know what I mean? I was walking around with Gaviscon, I was out of shape, I was a mess. So my point I'm saying to you is, there's a lot of people like me that had a good household regarding food, but when they left home, they went left and started eating takeaways and incorporated habits that they never had when they lived at home. And it can be vice versa as well. You could be a person that's grew up on processed foods, refined carbohydrates, chips, chocolate, whatever, and haven't learned any sort of nutrition when leaving home. So you've carried on with them habits through your life and haven't learned anything. So it can be vice versa regarding leaving home. So I always say to people, when you put on a lot of weight or you've put on weight over the years, always try and go back into your past and try and relive your life and understand where that shift was. Everyone has a point in their life where they have a shift where they put on weight, and that was my shift. I would say that was like the year 2000, 2002 is when I left home. I started playing football. I went from active to sedentary. I went from healthy to eating junk food, and that was the turning point for my weight gain in my life. So you've got to try and look back and live your life and remember it and understand where was the point where I started eating a certain way. And when you find out that point when you've been eating a certain way, you can get to that root cause and then start changing bit by bit and understand why you got to that place. I hope that makes sense, people. I hope it makes sense. So these are a lot of reasons what people don't think about when it comes to putting on weight, because you can put on weight, you could be eating a certain way for years. Some people are blessed, can eat a certain way, then they get to a certain age and all of a sudden you balloon up and you don't understand why. And again, that's to do with your metabolic rate as well, because you remember, like I said, I'm an 80s baby, so I come from 83, I was on the streets in the 90s. So my generation would know that we used to play like Kirby, we had hide and seek, we had tracking, always playing football every day, always running, racing my friends, doing knock door run, doing loads of crazy shit, excuse my language. So it was always active, bike riding. I used to bike around all around Brum, from mine to my cousins, to my friends, to different areas. So we was constantly active. So this goes to my next one. I think is it millennials? Millennials 2002, 2003. I have to check, it's either millennials or Gen Z. I think it's millennials. So the reason why a lot of millennials put on weight and the weight creeps on, from my time, we was active on the streets. We live in a generation now, is full of technology. Don't get me wrong, we had computer games, we had Game Boys, Mega Drives, SNES, whatever as kids, but we was more outside than inside. I think the kids of today, the 2000 and 2002 kids and the 2010 kids that are growing up now, that are probably 15 up to 22, 23, you have iPhones now, you have MacBooks, you have you can do gaming now, headpieces where you can talk to your friends all day. You got FaceTime, we've got Instagram, Facebook. All these things was not here when I was growing up in my teenage years. You know what I mean? Most of these things came in like 2007, 2008, and I think at that age I was 23 then. You know what I mean? So my kid life, we was active. So a lot of the millennials now, I think it's millennials. I think it's millennials. The millennials of today, they're not active at all. I could drive down the road or drive into about 3-4 areas right now. I wouldn't see no kids running on the streets. I wouldn't see no one playing Kirby. You rarely see kids playing in the park. I don't see no one playing football, really. Is there any play schemes anymore? And this is me talking from from the UK, the Birmingham area I'm from. I don't know about America or Europe or whatever, but regarding the UK, in Birmingham, I rarely see kids out now. I don't see kids really hanging around. Everyone's just sitting down, just chilling. I don't see a group of kids doing bike rides anymore. It's very rare, and this is why this generation, the weight is creeping up slowly. And on the same topic, the reason the weight's creeping up on a lot of people today as well. In my day, if I wanted to eat food, we had to walk to a chip shop, we had to walk to a McDonald's, we had to walk to a KFC. I think the only place that used to deliver food back in my day coming up was pizzas and Chinese shops. Now you can go on Uber Eats, Just Eats or Deliveroo, and if you're sitting around bored, you can go straight to you can order it on your phone, it's at your door, a guy on a bike or a moped, you got your food, you walk from the door, your front door, to your sofa, back on Netflix, and that's you for the day eating. And this is why weight is coming on people so fast. You don't even walk to the shop and get your food no more. It's crazy. So all these things now are making human beings and society very sedentary. This is why I say try and keep as active as possible. Get yourself a walking pad. This walking pad cost me £100 off eBay. I'm not saying £100 is nothing, because a lot of people that don't have £100. But if you work out the amount of money you spent on Deliveroo, your Just Eats, your takeaways, you could accumulate £100 very fast. So get yourself a walking pad. If you don't want to be outside, jump on your walking pad and get walking. Today, I've already trained legs. I've done half an hour cardio in the gym already, and I'm doing this light little walk while I talk to you guys. So yeah, walk and talk with me. Episode 5. You've got fat and you don't know why. And these are all the reasons why, people. The human body is very smart, and it loves to put on weight very easy. I'm one of them sort of people. If I stopped doing what I was doing now and sat on the sofa all day and just ate what I wanted, I could put on a stone within about 9 days. It's that simple, guys. Christmas is just gone. I put on about 7 to 8 pounds in 4 days. I didn't eat nothing very dramatic. I just went off plan. And I felt bloated for a while. I've dropped it all back off now because it was just water weight. But I said this in my last video. That was from Bailey's, fried dumplings, putting my hands in celebrations and heroes or whatever they're called. What else did I have? Had carrot cake. And that was mainly, I didn't really eat off plan, but because my body's not used to that sort of stuff no more, and it's very refined in carbohydrates and sugars, my body just stored it straight away as water. You know what I mean? I felt bloated, I felt sluggish, I felt tired. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to give you one more, people, and this one is you could be in a toxic relationship or a relationship you don't want to be in. And this is going to be a kind of a big one. So if you're in a toxic relationship, when you're in a toxic relationship, you get stressed. When you get stressed, your cortisol levels will raise. If they raise, your appetite will start raising, and your body will naturally start storing fat, especially around the midsection area. So if you're a person that's unhappy or not in a great place in a relationship and you're putting on weight, the majority of the time could be your cortisol levels have gone up due to stress, you're not sleeping properly, you're not really eating, and if you are eating, you're picking at shit and you're all over the place. You know what I mean? So if you're a person that's in that sort of place right now, you either sit down and rectify it, or you have to leave, or you're just going to be constantly on that hamster wheel of being with someone and putting on weight, unhappy, no motivation for the gym, no motivation to eat, you can't sleep, you're stressing, cortisol levels go up, fat storage gets more increased, your body looks more soft, and the cycle continues, people. So toxic relationships and relationships in general, you don't want to be in or be around. It could be with a partner, a loved one, or even friends, can cause stress. You want to live in a stress-free environment to get the best results and the best physique and be in the best place mentally. Because if you start getting depressed, guess what happens next? You will go to the doctors for antidepressants, and guess what antidepressants do? There's certain tablets or medication they will give you that causes your appetite to spike even more and causes fat storage even more. So you're on a worse hamster wheel and a worse cycle. You know what I mean? It's just dangerous, people. And that's another one I'm going to go into now about medication. Your weight could have creeped up over the years based on what sort of tablets or things you're taking. It could be a female that's taking the pill. She could have the, I forgot what it's called, the injection, or the thing that they put in their arm. That can mess up your hormones and cause weight gain. Sometimes you can put on that weight, it won't be straight away. It could be over the years, your appetite could grow more. And these are the simple little things that can cause weight gain without you realizing. Watch what medication you're taking and watch what your doctor gives you. Google or chat GPT what the prescription is. And 9 times out of 10, it will cause water retention, it will cause your appetite to raise, and it could cause you to get even more depressed. So most of these tablets don't even work, they make you more sad. So watch what you're taking, people. Be very mindful of what you're having. So try and get out of that cycle of being in a bad environment, toxic relationships, being depressed, taking tablets for depression. The tablets make you fatter, they make you more hungrier, and you're in that constant hamster wheel of not getting nowhere fast. And these are the main things I recommend that you watch over your life for that weight gain you don't realize comes, you don't understand how you've got fat. I'll give you a little summary of what we went through. So I said, make sure you wake up with some purpose, have a goal, don't fall off your goal. Keep that sat nav on every single day, keep them Google Maps on every day, know where your destination is, know what your goal is, don't let nobody make you fall off your goal. Be selfish before you can be selfless. You know what I mean? Toxic relationships, stress, depression, all of that can cause weight gain, appetite to spike, cortisol levels to raise. It causes fat storage, especially around the midsection. It'll make you sad and unmotivated. Try and take some time off apps, social media. Take your time off Netflix. Try and keep more active. Get yourself a walking pad. Get yourself a gym membership and start training or doing something and get out of the house more when you can. What else did we go over? Make sure you watch at least 1,000 minutes or listen to 1,000 minutes, no, 1,000 hours, sorry. Listen to 1,000 hours or watch 1,000 hours of stuff based on nutrition, the anatomy, how the body works, and understand your body. Start learning to cook, people. I know we have Just Eat, we have Deliveroo, we have all these apps. Start learning to cook. Cook your own food. Going to a healthy restaurant doesn't mean you're actually eating healthy. It doesn't count, people. Only you know what's healthy when you're actually cooking it yourself with the ingredients and the stuff you're using. You don't know what they're doing in that kitchen. So even though you're going for the healthy option, which is a great choice off that menu, it still won't be as 100% as healthy as when you cook it yourself. So make sure you cook it. What else did I say? Find out the root cause. Sometimes sit down and reflect about where did the weight gain start. Understand it. I told you where mine started. Mine started when I left home and I threw all the habits that I learned out the window and I started eating the complete opposite to how I lived. I started playing football. I wasn't as active. I got sedentary. I was sitting around pubs, being a dull boy, late nights, going to my friends, playing games, playing Pro Evo, playing FIFA all morning, ordering X amount of food. You know what I mean? That's what caused my weight gain. So find out the root cause and sit down and reflect in your life and find out why. And again, people, another one is your parents as well. Your habits. What habits did you pick up when you first left home? Did you pick up bad habits when you left home? Did you incorporate good ones and fall off like me? Find out what them habits were and reincorporate them back into your life. And the next one, people, it sounds silly and daft. Be careful what medication you take, especially females, regarding being on the pill, the injection. Do some studying on it. Go on YouTube and understand that can cause weight gain, it can cause water retention. So be very mindful of what medication you're taking. That goes to the guys as well, with them antidepressant tablets and other sort of tablets, steroid and hormonal tablets. Steroids, remember, put on water on the body, so be mindful of what you're taking. I'll give you a quick example. I got my feet done I get my feet done like every 5 to 6 weeks. When I used to play football, I've got bad feet, so I like to get my feet all trimmed up by chiropodist. So I had like a fungal infection last year, and the chiropodist said, she wrote down like a name. She goes, go to your doctors and get this prescribed from your doctor so you can go quicker. I was like, what is it? She's like, it's a steroid. Straight away, I wasn't interested. Any sort of steroid you take, I don't care what it's for. I'd rather take a spray. I'd rather take something else than take a steroid. Steroids will make you sluggish. They'll put water on you no matter what. They'll make you look flipping wham. That's what all steroids do. They add on water on the body. You know what I mean? So straight away, when she told me that, I was like, no, thank you. I'm not interested. I'll get some of the creams. I'll go to Boots or whatever. And can you prescribe something else for me? She's like, oh, no problem. You know what I mean? So understand what you're taking and what you're doing. You know what I mean? So I hope all that makes sense. That's enough from me. Be extraordinary. Dare to be different. And we keep it moving. And we keep improving. Have a good day, people.